Holiday greetings, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Silver City Community Theater Radio Hour right here Sundays at 5 on Gila Members Community Radio, KURU 89.1 FM, Silver City, New Mexico, and streaming online at gmcr.org. Tonight's episode features the divine local talent of our Aldo Leopold drama kids. In The Little Drummer Boy and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Donald A. Reesner, we hear Savvy Eggy, Samara Castillo, Zaya Blood, Cale Daugherty, and Zaya Pearson. In The Elves and the Shoemakers by Jennifer Reif and The Santa Interviews by Wade Bradford, we hear Alex Garcia, Adelie Kempton, Scarlett Evans, Michaela Jericho, Tennille Solberg, Innocencia Casaus, Phoenix Mares, Luna Lopez, Wesley Wolf, and Jules Stites. And the local star on top is Sarah Thrasher in The Littlest Angel by Charles Tazewell. We just can't wait for you to unwrap and enjoy our gifts from the heart.
Now, another exciting episode from our educational series, Lesser Known Stories from History.
Good evening. Tonight's episode of Lesser Known Stories from History takes us back over 2,000 years ago to ancient biblical times. Our story begins on a balmy evening in a Middle Eastern town, where we meet a young family living under the most difficult of circumstances. They are in the process of putting their newborn child down for the night. It has been a wondrous night filled with the voices of angels announcing the birth of the child this young couple has been entrusted with. They are tired from the recent walking journey of over 113 kilometers. A lack of adequate housing has forced them to seek refuge in the humblest of places, a place where animals have been kept. After hours of agonizing labor, the young mother finally gave birth to a beautiful boy, immediately followed by visits from dozens of people wanting to gaze at the tiny bundle. And now the young couple has managed to put their baby down for the night. They are bone-weary and in need of a well-deserved night of sleep. The young husband has briefly stepped out to make sure the place is secure for the night, but suddenly another visitor.
Oh, hello?
Hi, my name is Tommy. I live down the street a few houses.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Tommy. We're just getting ready to turn in for the night. Can I help you?
I came to say the baby. I have something for him.
Well, Tommy, we just put the baby down for the night and he's asleep. Maybe you can come back?
I want to play something for him.
Tommy, that's very nice, but...
On my drum.
Oh, Tommy, that's not a good idea. We just got the baby to go to sleep and he really needs...
I've got a new drum for my birthday and I'm learning to play it.
Did you? Well, that's very nice, but...
I wrote this one myself. It's called Variations on a Cattle Stall Theme.
Oh, Tommy, please don't do that. You're gonna wake the... baby.
I taught myself to play the drum just this afternoon. I'm getting pretty good, don't you think?
Joseph!
Mary, what is it? Are you okay? What in the world is going on?
I'm playing my drum for the baby. I think he likes it.
No, son, he doesn't. You need to go home. Maybe you can come back tomorrow.
I played my drum for him. Pa-rum-pa-pa-pum. Ra-pum-pum. Rum-pa-pum-pum.
Hey, son, you really need to go home. Now.
Joseph, please do something.
I'm trying to do something. I can't get the kid to stop. Hey, kid, you really need to stop making that noise. Mary, I can't get him to stop.
Little boy, do your parents know where you are? He says his name is Tommy and he lives on the street. Can you go find his parents?
How? There must be a dozen houses on the side of the street alone. It takes hours to find the kid's parents. Young man, I mean it. You really need to stop banging on that drum right this minute. I don't think he can even hear me.
Well, we've got to do something. He's driving me crazy.
So, how's that?
That was very nice.
Now, will you go home?
Sure, but first, one more song. I call this one Shattering the Windows.
No!
This
This has been another thrilling episode of Lesser Known Stories from History. Join us next time as we search the pages of history for calmer and quieter lesser known stories from history. Good night. I said good night.
Good night.
A newborn king to see, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. To lay before the king, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, when we come. Pum-pum. I am a poor boy too, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I have no gift to bring, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. That's fit to give the king, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Shall I play for you, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, on my drum? Mary nodded, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. The ox and lamb kept time, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I played my drum for him, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Then he smiled at me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Me and my drum, me and my drum, me and my drum, me and my drum. Come, they told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, me and my drum.
While the children of the world counted the days before Christmas, the elves of the North Pole counted the sprinkles on their cookies.
$397, $398, $399. I thought there was a missing sprinkle.
Here's one more. Good work, Gimble.
Thanks, Macy.
Oh, jingle bells. What am I doing wrong with this gingerbread man? Gimble, can I get your expert cookie maker opinion?
Whatever I can do to help out.
What's wrong with this cookie?
Let's see. The raisin eyebrows are good. The frosting smile is perfect. Excellent arrangement of the gumdrop buttons. Oh, I see your problem. There's an extra arm.
Oh, dashing through the snow. I'll never be as good as you. I tell you, Gimbal, when you get that promotion, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you by my side.
Gosh, Macy, I don't think...
I bet you're gonna make the best cookie supervisor the North Pole has ever seen.
Well, nothing is official. Santa still hasn't decided who will fill the new position.
Gimbal?
Yes, sir.
As you know, I still haven't decided who will fill the new position, but I do know it's not going to be you.
Oh.
But I would like your help with the interview process. We've got a lot of applicants and I could use your expertise.
Whatever I can do to help out.
That's the spirit. Ho, ho, ho.
Gingerbread arm?
Oh, jingle bells!
And I've put in a lot of hours pulling your sleigh across the sky, landing on billions of rooftops and all that stuff. So now I figure I'm ready for a change.
And you want to work in a Christmas cookie factory?
Yes.
Making delicate, intricately designed cookies with your hooves?
Yes.
You think your hooves can roll dough on our gumdrop buttons?
Sure. It'll be a snap.
You don't have fingers.
No, Gimbal, I don't have fingers, but if I did, imagine what I would be doing with one of them right now. Prancer, you are a brilliant reindeer, one of the best I've ever had. Why in the name of Kris Kringle would you want to transfer? Am I not feeding you enough carrots? The carrots are wonderful. Oh dear, you don't have an eggnog problem, do you? Because we can get you help at the Eggnog's Anonymous. No, Dasher's the one with the eggnog problem. Then why don't you want to fly on my sleigh? Santa, it's not you. You're terrific. You're the jolliest boss a reindeer could hope for. But what? That's exactly the problem. Blitzen's butt. I've been flying behind that reindeer for centuries. I can't take it anymore. And until that deer changes his diet, I'm not going back on that sleigh. I see. I'll tell you what. How about we rearrange the order? I'll put you next to... Let me see. Which one is the handsome buck that I know you secretly like? Santa! I think of my fellow reindeer on a purely professional level. Let's see, was it Dasher, Dancer, Comet, Cupid? Oh, Cupid. Please put me next to Cupid. Next to Cupid it is. Thank you so much, Santa. Wait till I tell Vixen. She's going to be so jealous. Well, Gimbal, it looks like these interviews are going to be taking a long time. I'll go throw a Yule log on the fire, send in the next applicant.
Will the next applicant please come in?
Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. Hi, Gimbal.
Frosty, hey, you old snowman. How have you been?
I've been feeling a little on the slushy side. Darn global warming.
May I take your hat?
Why, thanks so much.
Frosty! Frosty! You froze up for some reason. Oh, I forgot. Your magic hat. Without it, you're just a regular snowman.
Happy birthday. Where am I?
You're at a job interview for a cookie supervisor position. Remember?
That's right. Hi, Gimbal. How are the wife and kids?
I don't have any. How's your wife?
Oh, she left me for an avalanche.
Oh my.
Yeah, she just got swept away. I miss her so.
Oh, jingle all the way.
Happy birthday. Where am I? Hi, Gimbal.
Hi, Frosty. Why don't you sit right here? Santa will be with you in a moment. He's just throwing another Yule log on the fire.
Oh, that's why it feels so warm in here.
Oh, should I tell Santa not to?
No, it's all right. I've been outdoors my whole life. That's why I was hoping I'd get a job inside Santa's workshop. I won't be working too close to the cooking ovens, will I?
Well, sometimes.
It's getting awfully toasty in here.
Frosty, are you shrinking?
No, I think the room is getting bigger.
Oh, Frosty, you're melting.
I'm fine. I'll just fan myself with my magic hat.
Frosty!
Now that we've got the office all warm and toasty, let's interview the next person. What? Who spilt water all over the floor? Gimbal, go get a mop.
But, sir...
And who made this mess? Here's an old hat and a carrot. I'll take that. All right, who's next?
Gollum does not like the smell of this place. It stinks of cinnamon and candy canes.
Are you an elf? I don't think I've seen you before.
Schmeagol dwells down below in the deep dark belly of the earth.
Oh, the mailroom. So, I looked at your resume, which looks like it's a piece of tree bark smeared with fish paste. And I'm not sure you would be right for the job. Do you like to meet new people?
Eat new people? Yes, very much. My precious. Very much indeed.
Greetings, Santa. I'm Galadriel, the elf princess warrior.
Now this is the kind of elf I'm talking about. Look at those muscles. Think of the massive amount of cookie dough that could be rolled. And those keen elven eyes, perfect for inspecting every snickerdoodle, sugar plum, and gingerbread man. You're hired.
My apologies, Santa, but I didn't come to work at the North Pole. I came to capture this creature.
Please don't let them take us away. Schmeagol will be good. Schmeagol will work for minimum wage.
Well, it is tempting, but I think you better go off with your elf friend. If we need you, we'll give you a ring.
A ring? Where? Where is it? My precious.
Come on, you.
Mr. Claus, sir, there's someone who insists on seeing you. I tried to tell him how busy you are, but...
Ebenezer Scrooge?
Well, the one and only jolly Aunt St. Nicholas. So this is your elf-driven sweatshop I've heard so much about. I hope I'm not interrupting your plans to give away all those free toys to those undeserving little moochers and looters, bah humbug.
What do you want here, Scrooge?
I'm here about the job.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm interested in taking the position of the cookie supervisor.
What? Do you even like making cookies?
Of course not. I never touch those crumbly little things. It's like death covered in frosting. But I know how to supervise. Under my supervision, your elves will work harder than they have ever before.
Well, that sounds all well and good, but each one of my employees must be filled with holiday cheer.
Filled with holiday cheer? Is that some sort of beverage?
And all my workers should be happy.
Happy at work?
Yes, even the supervisors are happy and smiling.
I can smile.
Let's see.
I can't do it.
Like this, Mr. Scrooge.
Nope, still can't do it. I guess that means I failed the interview. I'll never be an Oompa Loompa.
You mean elf?
Whatever.
I don't understand, Scrooge. I thought you were visited by 3 ghosts and that you finally learned the spirit of the season.
Oh yes, that's true, and it was wonderful. but I was so filled up with holiday cheer and wine that I signed 51% of my company over to Bob Cratchit and his family. So now they have control of my company. Now I work for them. Isn't that dreadful?
But Bob Cratchit seems like a fair and kind man.
Oh, it's not Bob Cratchit that scares me.
Where's Mr. Scrooge?
Oh no, it's Tiny Tim. Save me!
You were supposed to be in the office an hour ago.
I'm sorry, sir. Please forgive me.
Santa. Tim? We better put him on the naughty list.
Yes, Santa.
Where's Gimbal?
Sorry, Santa, I was busy rearranging the reindeer so that Comet and Cupid won't fight over Vixen. I gave them all an apple, and that seemed to calm things down. Then I had to wring them up and refreeze Frosty the Snowman, and after that, it took a while to explain why Prancer ate his carrot. So I lent him a turnip nose. Oh, and I had to give that tall elf proper directions back to the Middle Earth. They made a wrong turn in Narnia, and then just now, on my way, I stopped a small child from whipping an old man.
Well, Gimbal, you have had quite a day.
Yes, sir. Shall I send in another applicant?
No, I have seen enough. I know exactly who I want to be the cookie supervisor in my dessert department. Gimbal, your friend Macy is now the supervisor. Well done, Macy.
Really?
Definitely. I like your smile, kid. You've got just the right attitude for the job.
Well, Macy, I can't think of a better person I would want as my boss. Congratulations.
That's nice of you to say, Gimbal, but I am afraid you won't be working on the cookie floor anymore, so Macy won't be your boss.
I won't be working. What the fa-la-la? You're firing me? After all I've done for the North Pole. Fine. Good. Maybe I'll work for the Kebler Elves. But before I go, there's something that I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. You're the most...
I'm promoting you to vice president.
The most wise, lovable boss in the Arctic Circle. Vice president? Really?
Yes, of course. I want you taking care of the cookies and the candy canes and the hot cocoa. You gotta keep all these delicious desserts going so we can make sure these elves are happy toy makers. Isn't that right, Supervisor Macy?
It certainly is. Right, Vice President Gimbal?
Gosh, this is going to be the best holiday ever.
There's only one thing I can think of that would make it better.
What's that?
Mistletoe.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
It's a sad day.
Nonsense.
But it is. We only have this small amount of leather, barely enough for one pair of shoes.
It's true. The shoe business has gone downhill, but we've worked hard all our lives, and we are excellent cobblers.
But times are tough. We are barely scraping by. What are we going to do?
We are going to set out our supplies like we always do. Then tomorrow morning we can make one last pair of shoes with that scrap of leather. Hopefully someone will come along to buy them.
And if not?
Well, we'll think of something.
coast is clear. Come on in. Don't you love the smell of this shoe shop? I sure do. It smells like creativity. I agree. Well then, let's get creating. Scissors. Check. Thread. Check. Leather. Check. Creativity. Check, check, check.
I don't know. I mean, I was gonna get the toy over there, but it's backed up, and you gotta fill all the stuffings up with candy canes. What else are you gonna do? And then stand his trucks over.
Holy moly!
What is it?
Look!
Oh my!
They are beautiful!
Perfect!
Remarkable! Where did they come from?
You didn't make them?
No, you didn't make them?
No.
Well, there's no time to wonder. We have a customer already.
It's the town artist.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm looking for a pair of shoes.
We have shoes.
Perfect shoes.
Well, I'm an artist, so I need comfortable shoes to wear in my studio while I create my masterpieces. But I also need them to be colorful, like my personality.
These are just the shoes for you.
I'll try them on.
A perfect fit.
I'll take them. How much?
£3?
I couldn't possibly pay £3. I'll pay 5.
Sold.
And I'll tell all my friends about your wonderful shop.
Now that we have money to make 2 pairs of shoes, things are looking up.
I'll go buy the leather.
This is so strange. I have no idea where those shoes came from. It must be magic. That was quick.
Let's set up our supplies just like always, and tomorrow morning we will make 2 pairs of shoes.
Psst, the coast is clear. Come on in. Don't you love the smell of this shoe shop? I sure do. It smells like creativity. I agree. Well then, let's get creating. Scissors. Check. Thread. Check. Leather. Check. Creativity. Check, check, check.
What are you gonna do? And then stand his trucks over there, and Rudolph, he's not coming over here because he's busy. I don't know what he's doing, but he's got his nose going on.
Holy moly! It happened again! Look at this!
Oh my!
They are beautiful!
Perfect!
Remarkable! Where did they come from?
You didn't make them?
No, you didn't make them?
No.
Well, there's no time to wonder. We have a customer.
It's the mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor.
I'm looking for a pair of shoes.
We have shoes.
Perfect shoes.
Well, I'm the mayor and I need shoes for walking about the town.
These are just the shoes for you.
I'll try them on.
A perfect fit.
How much?
£5?
I couldn't possibly pay £5. I'll pay 7.
Sold.
Here it is.
It doesn't look like much from the outside.
Trust me, they have the most beautiful shoes, worth every penny.
If you say so.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for a pair of shoes.
We have shoes.
But do you have any for an opera singer? I need very fancy shoes for the stage.
We have fancy shoes.
How about these?
I'll try them on.
A perfect fit.
I'll take them. How much?
£7?
I couldn't possibly pay £7. I'll pay 10.
Sold. This is so strange.
Strange but wonderful.
Who could be making these shoes?
I know. Let's stay up late tonight and keep an eye on the shop.
Good idea.
Psst, the coast is clear. Come on in. Don't you love the smell of this shoe shop? I sure do. It smells like creativity. I agree. Well then, let's get creating. Scissors. Check. Thread. Check. Leather. Check. Creativity. Check, check, check.
always knows going on and nobody wants to play with him, so I don't know. It could just be one of those nights, you know what I mean?
How splendid!
What kind little characters?
Did you notice they had no shoes?
I did. Their poor little feet must be quite cold.
I know. Since they were so kind to help us, why don't we help them?
Good idea, but how?
Let's make them some shoes to thank them for their kindness.
Perfect.
The coast is clear. Come on in. Holy moly. Holy moly. Holy moly. They are beautiful. Perfect. Remarkable. Where did they come from? Did you make them? Did you make them? No. Wow, isn't that nice? It sure is. Let's put them on. Perfect. So we helped the shoemakers and they helped us. It feels good to be kind and helpful. It sure does. Hey, let's go spread some more kindness. Agreed. Let's go.
We interrupt our regular programming for this breaking news story. We take you to New York City, where our field reporter, Holly Wood, is speaking with our local residents. Holly?
Yes, I'm standing here with Professor Clement C. Moore and his family at their home in western Manhattan. It appears that just a few nights ago, the Moore family had a unique encounter that took place right in their own house here on Houston Street. Professor, can you tell us what you witnessed?
Of course. Well, 'twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
Not even a mouse.
That's right, son, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care,
In hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
These are two of my children, Benjamin and Margaret.
It's very nice to meet you. Did all of your children witness this, Professor?
Not all of them. Most of them slept through it. These two are my light sleepers, so they were up at the first sound. The rest stayed in their rooms. Is that right, dear? This is my wife.
It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Moore. So your other children were asleep?
Yes, the children were nestled all snug in their beds.
While visions of sugar plums danced in our heads.
Sugar plums?
Yes, I've spent the past week baking, and the children have been eagerly waiting for Christmas Day, when it's our tradition to put out the plates of cookies, cakes, and other treats. In fact, I caught one of them trying to sneak a sugar plum when they thought no one was looking.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, Mama in her kerchief and me in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
What happened then?
Then out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash.
That's when Ben and I woke up.
Were you frightened?
No, just curious.
The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below.
So, even though it was nighttime, the moon reflected off the snow in such a way that you could see objects clearly?
That's right, it was beautiful.
Fascinating. Go on.
Then what to my wondering eyes did appear?
A miniature sleigh.
And 8 tiny reindeer.
Tiny reindeer?
Yeah, these reindeer weren't large, like those 350-pound caribou they have up north. These were very small, more like the size of a fawn.
That is small, and they were pulling a sleigh?
Yep, with an old driver so lively and quick.
We knew in a moment that he must be Saint Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his reindeers they came.
And he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen.
I'm Comet, I'm Cupid, I'm Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall.
Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
So what happened next?
Well, up to the housetop, the reindeers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys.
And St. Nicholas, too.
And then, in a twinkling, we heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning around down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound.
Astonishing. What did he look like?
Well, he was dressed all in fur from his head to foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back.
And he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow.
And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a
wreath.
Yes, like a wreath. Thank you, my dear.
He had a broad face and a round little belly.
That shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby
and plump.
A right jolly old elf.
And we saw him in spite of ourselves.
A wink of his eye.
And a twist of his head.
So he gave us to know he had
Nothing to dread.
That's a relief.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings.
Then turned with a jerk.
And laying his finger aside of his nose.
And giving a nod.
Up the chimney he rose.
Wait. He entered the room through the chimney, and then when he left, he went back up the chimney? He exited the house by going up the chimney?
I know it sounds crazy, but he used the chimney for both his entrance and his exit.
Okay, is that all?
No, not all. Then he sprang to his sleigh and gave his team a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But we heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Fascinating. Well, there you have it. A remarkable story of a remarkable visit from a remarkable character. It's important to report that at this time authorities have yet to confirm this sighting, but Professor Clement C. Moore and his family are unmoved. They are convinced that they received a visit from none other than St. Nicholas himself on Christmas Eve. I suppose the rest of us will never know for sure. This has been Hollywood reporting from the home of Clement C. Moore on the last island of Manhattan, New York. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Holly. That was an interesting report. And now we return to our regularly scheduled program.
And we're hooked.
Family Theater presents Loretta Young. From Hollywood, the Mutual Network, in cooperation with Family Theater, presents Miss Loretta Young in Charles Tazewell's story of a small boy who became the Littlest Angel.
Once upon a time, many, many years ago, as time is calculated by men, but which was merely yesterday in the celestial calendar of heaven, there was in paradise a most miserable, thoroughly unhappy, and utterly dejected cherub who was known throughout heaven as the Littlest Angel. He was exactly 4 years, 6 months, 5 days, 7 hours, and 42 minutes of age when he presented his small self to the venerable gatekeeper and waited for admittance to the glorious kingdom of God. Standing defiantly with his short, round legs wide apart, the Littlest Angel tried to pretend that he wasn't at all impressed by such unearthly splendor and that he wasn't at all afraid. but his lower lip trembled and a tear disgraced him by making a new furrow down his already tear-streaked face, coming to a precipitous halt at the very tip of his small freckled nose. But that wasn't all. While the kindly gatekeeper was entering the name in his great book, the littlest angel, having left home as usual without a handkerchief, endeavored to hide the telltale evidence by sniffling. Oh, a most unangelic sound, which so unnerved the good gatekeeper that he did something he had never done before in all eternity. He blotted the page. From that moment on, the heavenly peace was never quite the same, and the littlest angel soon became the despair of all the heavenly host. His shrill, ear-splitting whistles sounded at all hours through the golden streets, which startled the patriarch prophets and disturbed their meditations. Yes, and on top of that, he inevitably sang off-key at the singing practice of the heavenly choir, spoiling its ethereal effect. And being so small that it seemed to take him twice as long as anyone else to get to nightly prayers, the littlest angel always arrived late and always knocked everyone's wings askew as he darted into his place. Although these flaws in behavior might have been overlooked, the general appearance of the littlest angel was even more disreputable than his deportment. Did you see what he was wearing? Oh, it's shameful. It was first whispered among the seraphim and cherubim, and then said aloud among the angels and the archangels that he didn't even look like an angel. And they were all quite correct. He didn't. His halo was permanently tarnished where he held onto it with one hot little chubby hand when he ran, and he was always running. Furthermore, even when he stood very still, it never behaved like a halo should. It was always slipping down over his right eye. Or over his left eye. Or else, just for pure meanness, flipping off the back of his head and rolling away down some golden street, just so he'd have to chase after it. Yes, and it must be here recorded that his wings were neither useful nor ornamental. All paradise held its breath when the littlest angel perched himself like an unhappy fledgling sparrow on the very edge of the gilded cloud and prepared to take off. He would teeter this way and that way, but after much coaxing and a few false starts, he would shut both of his eyes, hold his freckled nose, count up to 303, and then hurl himself slowly into space. However, owing to the regrettable fact that he always forgot to move his wings, the littlest angel always fell head over halo. Oh, dear. It was also reported and never denied that whenever he was nervous, which was most of the time, he bit his wingtips. Now, anyone can easily understand why the littlest angel would, sooner or later, have to be disciplined. And so, on an eternal day of an eternal month, in the year eternal, he was directed to present his small self before an angel of the peace. The littlest angel combed his hair, dusted his wings, and scrambled into an almost clean robe, and then, with a heavy heart, he trudged his way to the place of judgment. He tried to postpone the dreaded ordeal by loitering across the street of the guardian angels, pausing a few timeless moments to minutely examine the long list of new arrivals, although all heaven knew that he couldn't read a word. And he idled more than several immortal moments to carefully examine a display of aureate harps, although everyone in the celestial city knew that he couldn't tell a crochet from a semiquaver. But at last, and at length, he slowly approached a doorway which was surmounted by a pair of golden scales, signifying that heavenly justice was dispensed within.
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem.
To the littlest angel's great surprise, he heard a voice singing. The littlest angel removed his halo and breathed upon it heavily. And then polished it upon his robe, a procedure which added nothing to that garment's already untidy appearance. And then tiptoed in. The singer, who was known as the understanding angel, looked down at the small culprit, and the littlest angel instinctively tried to make himself invisible by the ingenious process of withdrawing his head into the collar of his robe, very much like a snapping turtle. At that, the singer laughed, a kind, heartwarming sound. And he said, "Oh, so you're the one who's been making heaven so unheavenly. Come here, cherub, and tell me all about it." The littlest angel ventured a furtive look from beneath his robe. First one eye, and then the other eye. And suddenly, almost before he knew it, he was perched on the lap of the understanding angel and was explaining how very difficult it was for a boy who suddenly finds himself transformed into an angel. Yes, and no matter what the archangel said, he'd only swung once on the... Well, twice. Oh, all right then. He'd swung 3 times on the golden gates, but that was just for something to do. That was the whole trouble. There wasn't anything for a small angel to do, and he was very homesick. Oh, not that paradise wasn't beautiful, but... Oh, Earth was beautiful too. Wasn't it created by God himself? Why, there were trees to climb and brooks to fish and caves to play at pirate chief. The swimming hole and sun and rain and dark and dawn and thick brown dust so soft and warm beneath your feet. The understanding angel smiled, and in his eyes was a long-forgotten memory of another small boy in a long ago. Then he asked the littlest angel what would make him most happy in paradise. The cherub thought for a moment and then whispered in his ear, "There's a box. I left it under my bed back home. If only I could have that. The understanding angel nodded his head. You shall have it, he promised. And a fleet-winged heavenly messenger was instantly dispatched to bring the box to paradise. And then, in all those timeless days that followed, everyone wondered at the great change in the littlest angel. For among all the cherubs in God's kingdom, he was the most happy. His conduct was above the slightest reproach. His appearance was all that the most fastidious could wish for. And on excursions to Elysian fields, it could be said, and truly said, that he flew like an angel. Then it came to pass that Jesus, the Son of God, was to be born of Mary of Bethlehem, of Judea. And as the glorious tidings spread through paradise, all the angels rejoiced, and their voices were lifted to herald the miracle of miracles, the coming of the Christ child. The angels and archangels, the seraphim and cherubim, the gatekeeper, the wingmaker, and yes, even the halosmith, they all put aside the usual tasks to prepare their gifts for the blessed infant, all but the littlest angel. Now he sat himself down on the topmost step of the golden stairs and anxiously waited for inspiration. What could he give that would be most acceptable to the Son of God? At one time, he dreamed of composing a lyric hymn of adoration. But the littlest angel was woefully wanting in musical talent. And then he grew tremendously excited over writing a prayer that would live forever in the hearts of men, because it would be the first prayer ever to be heard by the Christ child.
Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
But the littlest angel was lamentingly lacking in literate skill. What, oh what, could a small angel give that would please the holy infant? The time of the miracle was very close at hand when the littlest angel at last decided on his gift. And then, on that day of days, he proudly brought it from its hiding place behind a cloud, and humbly, with downcast eyes, placed it before the throne of God. It was only a small, rough, unsightly box, but inside were all those wonderful things that even a child of God would treasure. A small, rough, unsightly box, lying among all those glorious gifts from all the angels of paradise. Gifts were of such rare and radiant splendor and breathless beauty that heaven and all the universe were lighted by the mere reflection of their glory. And when the littlest angel saw this, he suddenly knew that his gift to God's child was irreverent, and he devoutly wished he might reclaim his shabby gift. It was ugly. Oh, it was worthless. Oh, if only he could hide it away from the sight of God before it was even noticed. But it was too late. The hand of God moved slowly over all that array of shining gifts, then paused, then dropped, then came to rest on the lowly gift of the littlest angel. The littlest angel trembled as he saw that the box was opened. And there, before the eyes of God and all of his heavenly host, was what he offered to the Christ child. And what was his gift for the blessed infant? Well, there was a butterfly with golden wings, captured one bright summer day on the high hills over Jerusalem, and a sky blue egg from a bird's nest on the olive tree that stood to shade his mother's kitchen door. And oh, there were 2 white stones found on a muddy riverbank when he and his friends had played like small brown beavers. And at the bottom of the box, a limp, tooth-marked leather strap once worn as a collar by his mongrel dog, who had died as he had lived, in absolute love and infinite devotion. Oh, the littlest angel wept hot, bitter tears, for now he knew that instead of honoring the Son of God, he had been most blasphemous. Why had he ever thought the box was so wonderful? Why had he dreamed that such utterly useless things would be loved by the blessed infant? In frantic terror, he turned to run and hide from the divine wrath of the Heavenly Father. But he stumbled and fell, and with a horrified wail and a clatter of halo, rolled in a ball of consummate misery at the very foot of the heavenly throne. There was ominous and dreadful silence in the celestial city, a silence complete and undisturbed, save for the heartbroken sobbing of the littlest angel. And then suddenly, the voice of God, like divine music, rose and swelled through paradise. And the voice of God saying, "Of all the gifts of all the angels, I find that this small box pleases me the most. Its contents are of earth and of men, and my son is born to be king of both. These are the things my son, too, will know and love and cherish, and then, regretful, will leave behind him when his task is done. I accept this gift in the name of the child, Jesus, born of Mary this night in Bethlehem." There was a breathless pause, and then the rough, unsightly box of the littlest angel began to glow with a bright, unearthly light, and then the light became a lustrous flame, and the flame became a radiant brilliance that blinded the eyes of all the angels. None but the littlest angel saw it rise from its place before the throne of God. And he, and only he, watched it arch the firmament to stand and shed its clear, white, beckoning light over a stable where the child was born. There it shone on that night of miracles, and its light was reflected down the centuries deep in the heart of all mankind. Yet earthly eyes, blinded too by its splendor, could never know that the lowly gift of the littlest angel was all what men would call forever, the shining star of Bethlehem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed our Gifts from the Heart here on Silver City Community Theater Radio Hour. Our gifts have been expertly wrapped by Chris Wellman of Mystic Way Productions and delivered with holiday flair from Gila Members Community Radio. KURU 89.1 FM in Silver City, New Mexico, and streaming online at gmcr.org. This is your hostess, Wendy Spurgeon. From Aldo Leopold, GMCR, SCCT, and Mystic Way Productions, happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.